that picture of Rumsfeld during the news break? That guy is getting younger and meaner by the day. I love him. I hope he runs for president in 2008. Well, anyway, somebody who's already been president, Bill Clinton, is back in the news. In a new book called Their Lives, Women Targeted by the Clinton Machine, we hear about Bill Clinton and his not-so-stellar past. With me now to talk about it is the author of the book, Candice Jackson, a self-described libertarian feminist and also an attorney and commentator. Also with us is David Pollack. He's the president of Democratic Leadership for the 21st Century. Candice, let me ask you, why did you write this book? Some would say it's so 1998.
Well, I think it's high time now that Bill Clinton has chosen now to start forming his own legacy by releasing his autobiography, that it really is only fair and balanced to turn back to the past a little bit and put into perspective his treatment towards women over the course of his entire career.
Give us the worst, give us, in your opinion, what's the worst example of Bill Clinton mistreating women?
Well, clearly, I think the very worst example of all, the most disturbing, credible accusation and story out there is that of Juanita Broaddrick, who came forward and told us about a very brutal sexual assault that Bill Clinton perpetrated on her back in the 1970s.
You know, there are different women, obviously. We've heard about Paula Jones, Jennifer Flowers, Monica Lewinsky, Kathleen Willey, Sandy Perdue, Juanita Broaddrick, Elizabeth Ward, and several others. But, you know, Dave Pollack, we hear time and time again the Juanita Broaddrick story is a story that's probably the low point of all of these stories of possible rape. What have you heard about this book? What have you heard about these continued attacks on Bill Clinton, guy you worked for?
Well, let me answer the question that Candice didn't answer when you asked her why she wrote this book. And actually, it's right there in the flap of the book. It says that it's a wake-up call to stop Hillary Clinton from ever getting back into the White House. So this is nothing but, this is not a factual book. It's not a book about law. It's not a book about morality. It's just an attack, a slanderous political attack. And she's very clear with what her agenda is. And I would only suggest that, look at George Bush. He and Bill Clinton are working together on tsunami relief. Hillary Clinton and Newt Gingrich on health care. So Candice and the sort of right-wing folks need to kind of get beyond the Bill Clinton hatred and sort of join the rest of sort of real modern society in trying to move our country forward and not kind of get caught up in the slant.
Candice, is this all about just stopping Hillary Clinton? Is this the same so-called right-wing attack machine that went after Bill Clinton, now focusing their guns on Hillary Clinton in 2008?
Look, this is about trying to get at some of the truth about this person's behavior towards women. He got away with a reputation as some great defender of women's rights for his entire career. So has Hillary Clinton gotten away with that kind of a reputation. And taking a look at his actual treatment of women through all of these stories, and this is just a representative sample of them, is more than fair when taking into account what we think of this person as president, as a person, and yes, taking a look at his spouse, who very well could wind up back in the White House before long.
David Pollack, isn't that fair?
And as you once wrote in an article comparing the federal judicial system to Joseph Stalin, and you said that this country is on a road to serfdom because the power of sort of the presumption of innocence is lost, that everyone's now presumed guilty before innocent. Isn't Bill Clinton, especially after a $70 million Starr investigation where they came up with nothing, shouldn't the presumption of innocence, which you've so passionately defended in the internet and in your writings, shouldn't that be applied to the Clintons as well? Or are we so blind with Clinton hatred that everything that you've stood for goes completely out the window?
David, it does sound like 1998 again. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much, David Pollack. Candice Jackson, greatly appreciate it.